In this video, we'll build a simple SwiftUI network reachability monitor using NWPathMonitor and observation. You'll learn how to detect whether the device has a usable network path, identify expensive or constrained connections, and update your UI when the connection changes.
The goal of this app is quite simple. If the app relies on a network connection, our app should know when this device has a usable network path, and our interface should respond to that. If we're online, we can enable internet-powered features. If we're offline, we can pause the features and give the user a clear signal. Now, one important thing to note before we start. Reachability doesn't prove that your server is working. It doesn't guarantee that your next API call will succeed. It tells us whether the system currently has a usable network path. We'll still need proper error handling around real network requests. I do have a starter project for the video, and it's intentionally boring. There are no accounts, no API keys, no custom design system. We can focus completely on reachability. And you can download the starter project from my GitHub repository. There are 2 branches, and the starter project branch is where you should start if you want to work along with me. You can either clone the repository or download and expand the zip file. The completed branch contains the full completed project. Well, we'll need to build one new type as a network monitor, and then we'll connect that monitor to our SwiftUI content view. So first, let's create a new Swift file called NetworkMonitor. At the top, where I've already imported Foundation, let's also import Network, and we'll import Observation. And Network is the star of the show because it gives us the NWPathMonitor. Observation lets SwiftUI watch our monitor for changes, and the Foundation gives us the dispatch queue that we'll use for the PathMonitor callback. Now, before we write the monitor, let me clarify the word path. This is an API, and path does not mean a file path, and it does not mean that it's part of a URL. It means that the current network route the system believes it can use. Think of it like the device's road to the network. If the road is open, the path is satisfied. If there's no usable road, the path is unsatisfied. And an NWPath can tell us whether the route is available, whether it's expensive, whether it's low data mode. An NWPath can tell us whether the route is available, whether it's expensive, whether low data mode is active, and which interfaces are available, like Wi-Fi, Cellular, or Ethernet. So now let's create that class, and we'll call it NetworkMonitor. And we'll mark it as observable and also as a main actor. The observable macro means SwiftUI can automatically track reads from this object. When one of the observable properties changes, the view can update. And the main actor part is about safety. These properties are going to drive the UI, so we'll want changes to happen on the main actor. Inside the monitor, I'm going to add a small enum called connection status that has a string raw value. And it's going to have 3 cases: connected, disconnected, and requires connection. So we'll provide string values for the raw values that will be strings representing those 3 cases. Apple's NWPath.status is already clear for developers, but I like translating the framework types into app-specific language. It makes the view easier to read, and it gives us a clean place to decide what each state means for our app. Next, I'll add an NWPathMonitor as an instance of an NWPathMonitor. And I'm also going to create a dispatch queue that we can provide a label for, like NetworkMonitor. And the queue matters because NWPathMonitor is not a SwiftUI feature. It's a system-level monitor, and it needs a dispatch queue where it can deliver path updates. And I like to describe this queue as the monitor's workbench. The system can watch the network and place updates on that workbench whenever the path changes. What the queue is not doing is just as important. It is not the internet connection. It is not performing our API requests, and it's not making networks faster. It's simply the place where the path monitor says, here is the latest network path. And the reason we named the queue Network Monitor is that named queries are easy to recognize when debugging. If we are ever looking at thread or queue information, that label tells us exactly who created the work. And because this callback doesn't arrive on the main actor, we'll need to be careful. SwiftUI state should be changed on the main actor. So later we'll receive the path on this queue, and then we'll hop back to the main actor before updating our observable properties. So remember the two jobs. The dispatch queue answers where should the monitor deliver the update, and the main actor answers where should UI facing state be changed. I also want to create some properties that are observed and can be updated so I can have my UI respond accordingly. First will be the status, which is a connection status, and we'll initialize that as the required connection case. Then I'm going to create two bools. One for is expensive, which will be false, and an expensive connection usually means that the person's on cellular or a personal hotspot. The second is for is constrained, which will also be initialized as false, and a constrained connection means low data mode, that it may be active. Now these details are useful because a real app may choose to delay large downloads or reduce background work. Next, I'm going to create one for available interfaces, which will be an array of string initialized initially as an empty array. And that's where we're going to be having things like the Wi-Fi, internet, or cellular connection. And I'll also want to create a convenience computed property that I'm going to call isConnected as a bool. And it's going to be true if the status is equal to the connected state. Otherwise, it'll be false. So we need to start monitoring. So I'm going to create a function called start monitoring. And its responsibility will be to turn the monitor on, passing in our queue where the NWPathMonitor will deliver its updates. So first, let's create an initializer that will call this function whenever that class is created. Well, let me do one more thing though. NWPathMonitor itself is not especially mock-friendly on its own. In a production app, I'd usually introduce my own protocol if I wanted serious tests around this. So what we can do is change the use injection here by changing the creation of the monitor to be a private let monitor of type NWPathMonitor. And then in the initializer, create a parameter that is of this type, but provide an instance as the default. And then we can assign that to self.monitor. We're also going to have to create a dinit so that the monitor can stop. So a monitor cancel method is issued when the object is released. Now, before I carry on, I want to make the interface names that we get in our array more readable. Right now, they are enum cases. So I'm going to create an extension outside of the class on NWInterface. And then what I'll do is I'll create a computed property called displayName as a string. And then I'll switch on the type. And I'll let Xcode generate all the cases for us. And what we could do then is provide real strings for each case. In most cases, it's quite obvious. Other, we'll just use other. For Wi-Fi, we'll use the traditional spelling for Wi-Fi. Cellular can be cellular. Wired Ethernet, we'll just use Ethernet. And for loopback, we'll use loopback. For the unknown default case, we'll just return the string unknown. Now what I can do is I can go back up into my NetworkMonitor class and create another private method that we'll call update with a label of from, where we'll specify the path as an NW path. And this method then will receive the NW path and copy the useful parts to our different app observed state properties. So we'll switch on the path status case, and again, we'll let Xcode generate the cases for us. If the path status is satisfied, we'll set our status to connected. If it's unsatisfied, we'll set it to disconnected. And if it requires connection, we'll keep that separate because the system may be able to connect, but it's not currently connected. I also include unknown default, which is a nice defensive habit when switching over Apple's framework enums. If a future SDK adds a new case, our app will still have a fallback, and we'll make that requires connection. Well, this path also provides us with booleans corresponding to the connection being expensive or constrained. So I'll assign those values to our observed properties. Let me fix this typo here first. Finally then, I map the path's available interfaces using the display name keyPath to get an array. But this may get duplicates, so I can convert the array to a set to remove the duplicates, and then back to an array again to make it an array. And then for convenience, I'll be able to use the sorted method. So I can go back to my start monitoring now and add the path update handler before the monitor's start queue. Well, first, the monitor's path update handler is a closure that you see that runs whenever the network path changes. So this is going to give us the path that we can use in the closure. But we should also capture a weak self here to make sure that the closure doesn't keep the network monitor alive forever. And this path is the latest route Apple gives us. So this callback arrives on our custom queue, so we can create a task unit of work and move the state update onto the main queue using main actor, and again capture weak self and path so that it's not strongly holding on to self. And then we can use a guard check to see if the self exists. Otherwise, if the monitor is gone, we'll just return. And then if that passes, we can call the update function on the self from the path.
If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. And be sure to subscribe to my channel and enable notifications. You can also subscribe to my newsletter that comes out on Wednesdays 2 or 3 times a month. I'll leave a link in the description. The newsletter will tell you about my current and future videos, along with other things that I discover along my coding and personal journey that I think you might find interesting. If you enjoy my content and you want to support my work, you can buy me a coffee. A link's in the description. And if you become a $5 a month monthly member, you can get access to all of my videos, sometimes up to a month before they're released on YouTube.
So let's return to our content view. The start screen here already has the completed layout. I did that on purpose so that we didn't have to spend a lot of time in the video typing in UI code. The screen is driven by placeholder computed properties. So now we're going to replace those placeholders with real network state. The top section is going to display whether or not the network is actually connected, and the bottom section will give us more information about the type of connection, and right now the values are our hard-coded defaults. So at the top of the view, I'm going to create a state property to get access to our network monitor as an instance of the network monitor. And that'll create the monitor and let the view hold on to it. And since network monitor is observable, Swift will track the properties used in this body. In a larger app, you'd likely want to inject the network monitor into the environment when the app launches so that it'll be available to all views. So now I can update the placeholder properties. Is connected will change from the hard-coded true to the state of the network monitor's is connected property. The status text will change from the hard-coded connected to the network monitor status raw value enum. The expensive connected text can use the network monitor's is expensive boolean to display yes or no using the ternary operator. And we can do a similar thing with low data mode to display on or off depending on the value of the network monitor is constrained. And then finally, if the array is empty, we'll show none. But we'll use a ternary operator if that's not the case. If it has values, what we'll do is we'll join them with commas. Oops, this should be is constrained and not is connected. So I want to test this and run it. And I recommend that you run the app on a real device. If you use the simulator, don't be surprised if you only see one interface, even though your Mac has more than one connection. And the simulator is reporting the path it's actually using, and not every connection on your Mac has enabled. Right now, we are connected, so the app shows the connected state and the path details. So I'm going to run this now on my device, my iPhone 16 Pro, and see what happens. And I can see that I'm connected via both cellular and Wi-Fi. Low data mode is off, and it's not an expensive connection because Wi-Fi is active. So let me turn Wi-Fi off. I can see now that it's an expensive connection. I'm still connected, but it's expensive. And cellular is the only interface available. So let me go to the settings in the cellular section, and I want to turn off cellular. And if I switch back to the app, I can see that we're disconnected with no available interfaces. So let me go back to the settings and turn cellular back on. But I'm also going to enable low data mode here. If I switch back to the app, I can see that we are now connected, but I can see that it's expensive connection, and low data mode is displayed for this cellular connection. Let me go back now to a standard data mode connection. And I'm also going to turn Wi-Fi back on. Back in the app, I can see that it's updated, and we're back to where we began. Once the path changes, the monitor receives an update and SwiftUI redraws the view. And when I reconnect, the app moves back to the connected state. So this is a great pattern for making an app network aware. But remember, don't treat reachability as a replacement for error handling. Reachability answers the question, do we appear to have a network path right now? A real request can fail because the server's down, the user's unauthorized, DNS fails, or the connection drops halfway through. So in production, use reachability to improve the user experience, but still handle errors at the request level. And you can take a look at my Network Manager series for that. That's it. We created a reusable network monitor. We connected it to SwiftUI with observation, and we used it to drive a simple but realistic user interface decision. I hope you can use this going forward in your own projects.
If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps. And remember, you can get access to my videos by downloading my free channel listing app for the Mac, or you can use the web version on an iPhone or an iPad to get better searching and viewing of my content. Links are in the description.